Welcome to Waldorf College. I'm Mark Newcomb, and this is DigiCore COMM 1020, Unit number 3. In this unit, you'll have the opportunity to consume some lynda.com, WordPress.com essentials, chapters 1 through 5. You'll look at how to build a WordPress site of your own, and we'll take a look at cloud computing. So let's get it all started with cloud computing.
Computers used to work alone, inside a home or business. But thanks to the internet, we can now use the power of computers at a completely different location, what we call in the cloud. This is cloud computing in plain English. To start, meet Lucy from Lucy's Lilies, a new florist. She's concerned about how to manage flower deliveries. Right now, she's responsible for hiring drivers and keeping the vans running. But this scenario makes her nervous. She's a florist, not a mechanic. Delivery is a distraction, and she's on a budget. Maintaining her own deliveries costs a lot. Plus, it's hard to know how many vans she'll need. Her business suffers when deliveries can't keep up. Then she learned about a new kind of delivery company that has an unlimited fleet of drivers and vans that she can use on an as-needed basis. And she only pays for what she uses. Now she can depend on another company to handle the deliveries. A few years later, her business savvy paid off. She now has a network of florists and new problems. She has websites, servers, and databases that all have to be maintained at headquarters. It's a huge expense and a big worry. Her business is constantly running out of storage space and fixing broken servers. Then she learned about cloud computing, which works a lot like her deliveries. Instead of managing important technology on-site, she can depend on a new kind of company to help take away the pain. They have all the computing power she needs, and it's all secure, backed up at another location, and accessible through the web. What people call in the cloud. This means she can depend on a cloud company's computers to help her business run, and focus her energy on fantastic flowers. But that's not all. Cloud computing means computers don't have to limit her business. Because cloud companies have nearly unlimited storage and resources, she can grow without worry. And because the servers are normally backed up in multiple locations, her information is safe. But what she really loves is only paying for what she uses. If business is slow, her computing costs can go down too. Cloud computing also means she can use new kinds of services that live in the cloud and are accessible through the web. When she needs a new billing system, she has a choice: installing and supporting one on-site, or using a product that lives in the cloud and works using her web browser. From email to word processing or photo sharing, cloud computing also works for you and me. We can use products that live in the cloud, are always backed up, accessible from any internet connection, and safe from spilled coffee. Cloud computing means we have new choices. Businesses and individuals can spend less time worrying about technology and focus on what matters. I'm Lee Lefevre of Common Craft, and this has been Cloud Computing in plain English.
Cloud computing. It used to be our computers were standalone. They all worked alone, but now with the internet, cloud computing becomes a great advantage. So let's take a look at that. What are the advantages of cloud computing? Well, one is zero hassle. It's all taken care of for you. Someone else does the maintenance and all the rest for you. It's cost effective. Most of the time free. Think of the Facebook, Twitter, the Flickr. Those were all free to us. It's also scalable. If we need more service or more apps or more space on the hard drive, then we can pay a monthly fee and get more features. It's secured. Your information is saved on several different servers across the country. And it's accessible. Anywhere that I can get to the internet, I can get to the cloud and my information. And last, automatic maintenance. As they update the website for a cloud, your process is automatically updated and ready to go. So WordPress.com is a cloud-based app, but you can also get WordPress.org if you choose to want to download the software and have it on your own computer. Well, what are the differences between WordPress.com and WordPress.org? WordPress.com is owned by Automatic, as in the cloud. But WordPress.org is owned by you, and you install it on your server. You simply go to WordPress.org, and it will allow you to download the information and put it onto your computer so that now it's no longer in the cloud, but it's on your own server. WordPress.com has automatic maintenance, but as you can expect, if you put it on your server and WordPress.org, you need to maintain it yourself. With WordPress.com, there are some content restrictions. However, if you put WordPress.org on your server, there are no restrictions. You can put whatever content you want there. WordPress.com has predefined functions. There are many apps and plugins that you can put within WordPress.com, but you get to pick from their list. With WordPress.org, if you can figure out a plugin and find out how to work it, then there are no restrictions there. It's plugin friendly. Zero hassle when it comes to WordPress.com. All that maintenance and all of the way the program works is certainly being taken care of by Automatic. But on WordPress.org, you get hassle to your liking because you're going to be taking care of it. WordPress.com, we need to understand the differences between a front end and a back end as we talk about this software. The front end is simply what the general public sees. This is where we spend most of our time on the web. We're in the front end. This is where we get to see the buttons and click. And when we're on the web, in looking at a website, we're normally on the front end. You can see main navigation going by here, and here's a resume. Now, the back end, though, back end is where we do all of the maintenance and the administration. This is where we actually create the WordPress site. And this is where we're going to spend a lot of our time in this unit. You can see on the side here that if I hit pages, then I get to go into the back end here. And if I went to that same resume, I could hit edit. And this is what the edit looks like on the back end, where we actually create the pages. So back end and front end, understanding the differences there is important for us. WordPress.com has posts and it has pages, and it's important to understand the difference between a post and a page. A post is a blog. It's current in time, and then it becomes less important. And as it becomes less important, it falls down the chain chronologically. But people can find it later by searching date or topic if they want to see it. Well, let's look at what that looks like. WordPress.com, here I am. I'm going into a site, and this is a test site that I've set up just for this course. You can see in this post, they're chronological. The oldest ones are at the bottom, and the newest ones are at the top. And it also has a title. On the side here, on the right-hand side, there's a way to go and search for blogs. So if I knew what a keyword was in the blog, I could do categories and find it. Or it might be that I'll look at archives by date because they're chronological, or just look at recent posts. So a post is a blog. WordPress.com was set up initially as a blogging site, and that's how it was used. But as it got more and more features and they had millions of people begin to use it, they started using pages as well. And people started making WordPress websites as to go along with their blogs. So a page consists of static content that does not often change. They offer content, information, resumes, or information about the website as a whole. That's a majority of what we work with when we're on the internet. When you go to a web page, most of the pages we look at are static. It's that main navigation that we go to, things that won't change a lot, like a resume or a portfolio or a contact. So it's very important to understand the differences between a post and a page. Now, I have set up a site on the internet. If you'd like to go out and you log into Digicore 2011, mw.wordpress.com, I've put together a little sample site that's very similar to what we'll be putting together for unit number 3. So let's look at main navigation, or as WordPress calls it, parent navigation. For the unit 3 assignment, you'll need to create a home, a resume, a portfolio, a blog, and a contact page. These are all main navigation. They'll be the buttons that go somewhere across the top or the side of the theme that you choose, and most of these will be static pages. You can see that blog, though, will actually be a post. Now, along with main navigation, we're used to having some sub-navigation, little pull-down menus that we can get. WordPress.com calls that a child. So I have a sub-navigation under Resume and under Portfolio. So when you go to those two main navs, you'll have a parent-child relationship, another place to click on them. Well, it can be a little confusing, but it's actually very simple. Let's go look at the site. Here we are at Digicore 2011mw.wordpress.com. And you can see I have my main navigation going through Home, Resume, Portfolio, Blog, but I also have a parent-child relationship happening here with Resume and with Portfolio. So the difference between main and parent. Now, if I go home, here at home, I have just a short description of the course, and I've got some contact information here, and it's important. You need to have a pick on every page for assignment number 3 as you put them together, and I have some contact information there as well. If I move over to Resume, in Resume, on the parent page, I have information about the current job that I have, and hopefully a job for life for me. I enjoy teaching here. And at the bottom, I also have this thing called Printable PDF. It's a button, and if you click on it, my resume opens. Well, it's actually not my resume. It's a sample resume that you can go through, and you look at the site. It gives you ideas. If you don't already have a resume or you want a new way to put one together, this is what John Hopkins decides is cool. Now, under Resume as well, I have Education. So if you click on Education, you can see there's my Education. So it's a parent and a child. Portfolio. If we move over to Portfolio, on a Portfolio, I put a slideshow. That's what this thing is right here. And down below, I have a gallery. So those are 2 requirements as well for the assignment, is that you have a slideshow and a gallery. And I know you have all kinds of beautiful pics that you put into Flickr already, and you may want to add some more. But that's what I've put inside my slideshow. And the gallery at the bottom, if I click on one of the galleries, it opens in a thing called a lightbox. And then here it pulls the image full screen. And then I have arrows I can navigate left or right to see. There's Betsy and Dr. Lubke, and here's Strauss and Pete at a live remote for the radio station. And a little X up here in the corner takes me back out of Portfolio. Now I have a child relationship in Portfolio as well, and I included a video. So here I have just some fake Latin that's setting up there. And I posted, embedded from YouTube, I have a video of Roger and a patent that he's applying for a garage door opener that's going to make him a millionaire. At least we all hope. Roger's a drummer in a cover band that we play with here in town. So, and then I have blog as well. So over on blog, here is a post. Unlike the other pages we've seen so far that are static, this is a blog. So as I enter in new posts, they will automatically load at the top of this page. And I put a pic with every one of my posts. And I think it's important. It helps people remember and have a reference for what it was about. And then you see the navigation that's on the right-hand side here, where you can go by categories, or I can look by archive. But that's a blog. And then last, I have contact. So my contact information, a picture of Strauss over here, and then contact information. Now, when you put your email in, ever on a website, make sure that you don't put the @ sign, because spiders come in and find them, and sometimes it's true with your phone numbers as well. And then I have my Flickr, Twitter, and my Facebook, and I have a LinkedIn here. And LinkedIn's something we're going to do yet in this course and a little bit later. Now, there is a contact form here as well, where I can type my name and put in my email address. And then if you type a comment, this will get sent to the email. So whatever you set your site up, your email, when someone hits submit this form, it will actually tell you in an email that a person by this name with this email had this to say to you. So there you go. A sample of what your Unit 3 assessment should look like. So in this chapter, you have that opportunity to consume WordPress.com Essentials, Chapter 1 through 5. You'll need to create a WordPress account, create your main navigation, populate the homepage, and post a blog. Well, that wraps it up. I'm Mark Newcomb. Glad to have spent Unit 3 with you. Look forward to seeing you in Unit 4.